Greetings, my BSED first year English majors. Welcome to our first video of how will I teach children and youth if I am absent or I have unnecessary events. For the following video, we're going to discuss the continuation of our discussion last time, specifically about communication in culture. In this case, we're going to focus on how you can develop further understanding people and the society, not only with the learnings that you're going to go under in the theoretical linguistics, but also focus on the applied side under social linguistics that you're going to deal with interaction and sensitivity to others. Last time, with the sharing of Miss Winnie Carrion, Miss Charlotte Galang, Miss Jeremy Dula, Mr. Dennis Miklet, and of course, Miss Maria Lourdes. Our discussion focuses on how culture cultivates us in identity and how culture is reflective. Like we have shared our own personal lives, then turn into a deep and wide variety of cultures around the world. With the focus on that, it will help us to understand, interpret, and incorporate very well in order to avoid miscommunication. In this lesson, we're going to continue to learn further about culture, specifically in dealing with communication. Because in culture, under communication, I already told you it's reflective in identity. Now, in this case, we're going to focus in the other aspects of culture in terms of communication. Let's start off with this. You have to understand first that in culture, it's super symbolic and it's super archetypal. Why is that so? When we speak of archetypal, which means it's symbolic and it's very variety and it's very, very, very significant in terms of ideas and giving ideologies to one object or one identity. For example, a simple handkerchief can be a symbol of hope, authority, and guidance. Why hope? In this one, you're helping one person to wipe your tears, to see clearly in the world. Authority means, as a person, you're guiding them to get this. Other symbolical concepts can be a bit different and may vary in accordance to how in a certain place defines certain. You have to consider that each things that are so unusual to us can be usually symbolic. For example, in the Kapampangan culture, tocinos and longanises are very symbolic to us because that is our national product when we give this. When you go to Kamiling, it's a different story. It's not processed meats that makes them popular. It's actually the lechon. That lechon is so very popular from them and their culture that those lechons is one of the best in Tarlac. When you try it, it's very delicious. I'm telling you right now. But if you go to other places such as Bamban, brooms, specifically stick brooms, are very popular there. Why is there varieties of different symbolical ideas and concepts? Symbols before were very popular because they have inherited in their everyday experiences. Even in everyday life, symbols are there to give us identity or authenticity. For example, how is it that the Philippines was made like that? Or yellow, sorry for my orange name. 3 stars is color yellow, color white, color blue, and color red. Blue represents peace, then red represents justice. The yellow sun represents the 8 states, if you know what I mean. And the three stars represents our situation. The Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, the archipelagos. Why is that so? It gives importance and meaning to certain objects. Because symbols does not only pertain to a reflection of objects, but the objects themselves gives meaning to the essence of an idea. To make it layman terms, it simply says that symbols uses material things or corporealities that wants to inject or inherit our memories. Keep that in mind. So if you want to more clarifications and questions, you can just comment down below in order for you to fully understand this one. But the bottom line is, it is symbolic because in here, that object is a huge reminder of a very big event or situation that happened in your life. And culture is very popular with that. Besides from symbolic, it also reflects that it is common to all human beings. Culture is common to all human beings. Let me explain this in a simple manner. Culture may be a different way of perspecting things in life, but in culture, it gives us identity. It gives us authenticity. It gives us uniqueness of who we are. Kapampangans have different ways to approach kindness. Ilocanos have different ways to approach kindness. Americans have different approaches. But even though there are varieties of individual indifferences, the common goal is still good. Those subjectivity essences, those subjective or tinatawag namin, or we're calling it a certain point of synthesis, leads them to one common goal. In short, you're just uniting one another with different aspects of life. It's very popular in culture. More often than not, since it's very, very popular, it means to say it tries to comprehend. It tries to inject. For clarifications, just in case you don't understand very clearly. Another example for this concept of all human beings is where you're always going to have your good mates. In Facebook, sometimes there are some weird people adding you up for some other reasons. When I was in second year college, specifically I'm an irregular student, I was curious about if there's even a female saxophonist. Really, I'm not joking. And I look at my Facebook account and I add one weird girl named Toshiba Santa Rita. She's a Visayan girl. Yes, a Visayan girl. I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I'm gonna show you big pictures of her later if you want to, if you're curious. We have different cultures. She's a Visayan, and we all know Visayans are very kind and generous, as well as trustworthy. Where Kapampangans are different elements, if you know what I mean. I added her, and we became friends for almost 4 years now. How? Because in culture, your individual differences should be an incorporation or synthesis towards unity. That is for number 2. Of course, we have to consider that culture is the brain of an open system. What's that so? Inheritance, embrace. Inheritance, embrace. Classical example. In your class, you're learning Tagampakan culture, the Ilocano, your individual cultures in your houses, and even my culture. So you're learning to adjust in avoiding miscommunication and offending a person. Using semantics and syntax as the way of your communication, this will help you to understand what the person wants to reflect. Imagine this. Charlotte has different cultures in her house. I have different cultures in my house. Winnie has a different culture in her house. So meaning to say, if I'm going to visit her, will I show my culture? No, I'm going to be restricted because I know her. That's very important about culture. Because if you don't have any ideas and if you're not open-minded, if you're going to an Ilocano culture and said an offending word, you will be miscommunicated by many people. Eventually, or I'm going to show it in a professional way, you will be misunderstood by many people. Simple as that. Remember this, my friends. The summary of every discussion that I told you about the importance of culture and communication is that culture gives us a bridge of our individual differences to become united as one. So meaning to say, if we are united as one, there will be no miscommunications. It will be minimalized, but more often than not, it will be united as one. Class. Now it's your turn. I've shared to you some importance and significance about culture. The sharing that we're going to do today will hugely help you on how you will understand further your classmates. And that is how important culture is. Our class has been ended. Click the like button if you like this video, and please comment down below if you have questions, clarifications, and confusion statements. Again, this is Sir John Paul Feliciano, signing off.